Hey YouTube, how's it going? It's been a while. So before I start this video, I have two quick things to say. Firstly, this video is going to be a little bit weird. It's going to be completely unlike all of the content I'm normally putting out, so keep that in mind. Secondly, I have to give a huge shout out at the start here to the Afrika Freaks. Honestly, I wasn't going to make this video. I wasn't going to make any video probably for another couple of months. But then Afrika reached out to me on Twitter. They said that they saw me wearing a Keane jersey in one of my videos that I put up on my second channel, and that they wanted to send me a signed Keane jersey, which I was immediately like, oh my goodness, that's the nicest thing anyone's ever done for me in the League community. So then after a little while, I'm waiting for a package to come in the mail. And then two huge boxes show up in the mail with all kinds of stuff that I gotta share with you guys. There's an Afrika Freaks tote bag. They got hand warmers, magnets, notebooks, this cool mug with a bunch of League of Legends characters on it. I don't know how well you can see that. Oh, that's gotta be Yasuo, right? I've also been using this old beat-up phone case for about a year, which is kind of damaged with a bunch of nicks and dents in it after dropping my phone so many times. So they sent me two new ones that are way cooler as well. There is also an Afrika Freaks gaming keyboard here, a headset here as well. I mean, they really went above and beyond with all this. But the coolest thing that they did, which just really, I mean, it blew me away. They sent me so many jerseys. We got a hoodie. This is the thing that really blows me away, though. Jibe 99. Amazing hoodie. I mean, come on, dude. Come on. Ugh. This is quite literally the nicest thing that anybody has ever done for me in the League of Legends community. And it really kind of reminded me as well, oh my God, look at that. That is so beautiful. It put me at a loss for words. I was so shocked, and I have to give a huge thank you. It really inspired me to wake the hell up and stop just being gone from YouTube and everything. So we are back here with another video. This is probably going to be the most personal video I've ever made on my channel, and it's going to be weird, but after this we're going to get back to some regular content. But I kind of figured, you know, over the past 2 years or so, I've been making all these different documentaries on a number of different stories and personalities in the League community. So this is going to be kind of a documentary of my own story, where I've come and where I think I'm going. But to start, we got to take a field trip to the living room. Let's go. So here we got a picture of me and my little brother as a kid. This is a flag that the U.S. government gave me at my grandfather's funeral. And this, oh boy, look at this. This is my senior picture. Look at that handsome devil with his, oh, look at that buzz cut. But what I really want to show you guys is in here. This right here is me as a kid dressed up as Brett Favre for Halloween. Pretty much my entire life, I have always found two things that I've never ever gotten tired of or sick of. That is sports and video games. I remember when I was younger, and especially as a kid, you know, people ask you or you know, talk about what do you want to do when you grow up? What do you want to be when you grow up? I remember I was always told, do what you love what you do. If you work with something you enjoy, you'll never work a day in your life. And of course, there were a number of different passions and interests I had. I played the piano for a little while, and then I played the cello for about 10 years. I also made art. This is what I was going to do. I was going to go to college for drawing and painting. In fact, this right here is pretty much the only art piece I ever made that I was not, that I didn't hate. This was done for my AP art class senior year, where I took a picture of a dead tree. It was this really old and dead tree in my backyard that I thought it was really, I thought it looked really beautiful because it was this horrible dying decrepit thing that also had this weirdly orange and beautiful grass and plants that were growing around it that we couldn't mow because there were like a bunch of logs there that we couldn't really mow around. But just the dead tree that had all this horrible gray nonsense coupled with the super green grass and the super orange plants and all sorts of stuff. I mean, it's still something that was made by a goofy teenager, so it's not perfect or anything, but this is like the only thing I ever made that I really liked. Anyway, even if I had certain interests or certain passions that I enjoyed, even if I liked making art, there would always be some times when I didn't want to make art. I mean, there would always be some times when I didn't feel like practicing an instrument. I mean, any of you who've ever played an instrument know that feeling. So as I got closer and closer to graduating and having to choose a major for college, and, I was kind of settling on art, but eventually I thought, sports and video games are the only two things that I have ever felt nonstop passion for. The only things that I would never feel like, I don't want to do that right now. Now, because these were the only two things I really felt nothing but enjoyment for, eventually I got the idea, let's try and do something with them. Fast forward to my sophomore year of high school, 2010, League of Legends comes out. Or it actually technically came out a year before, and it had like a beta or whatever, but that was when I first started playing it, and I immediately thought, this is perfect. This combines my two passions for sports and video games into one beautiful thing, so I'm going to play the hell out of this game. And originally, the goal was to go pro. When I graduated high school, I convinced my mother to let me live with her for a small period of time and try and go pro and see if I could make some sort of money with the game, which, I wasn't that bad at the time. This was at around the end of season 2, and I was not at a good enough rating to be pro. I was at about 2100 elo, but that was promising. It was around the same elo that a lot of the kind of bad pros were at. People like Elements, people like Phantom Lord, people like Sidco, if any of you guys remember him, or Tree Eskimo. These weren't players that were necessarily bad. I shouldn't call them bad pros, but they were just, they were the lower rated pros in terms of how everyone was ranked on the ladder. It was also where a lot of other up-and-coming amateur pros were, people like Nintendo X, people like Master of LoL, Bob Quinn XD, who I think is still playing League competitively today. And I would regularly play with these people in my solo queue games, so I thought that it wasn't unreasonable for me to think that, maybe I could go pro. But if any of you have ever played through the fall, played through the end of a season for League of Legends, you'll know how hilariously awful it is, where Riot takes like 5 months to reset ratings, and for 5 months or something. It was an extraordinarily long time from season 2 to season 3, where there was just this enormously long preseason that you couldn't play for any reason. Nothing really mattered during the game. So for me and my goofy dream of wanting to go pro, it was really tough to find the motivation to grind solo queue when the rating was going to be reset anyway, and nothing really mattered. So why grind solo queue in the off season? And I was on a little bit of a time limit. I mean, my mother didn't just give me a free pass to mooch off of her forever like some goofy white kid, even though that's kind of exactly what I was. She wasn't even in the most financially secure situation, so she was kind of worried about her own stuff. And my parents have always been very supportive of me following whatever it is that I want to do, but she definitely wanted me to prove that I could do something. So when it became clear that Riot wasn't going to reset the rating for like a million months, and that I had to do something at some point, I figured, hey, why not start a YouTube channel? And that's exactly what I did. I started a YouTube channel where I would make videos showcasing what I knew about the game and teaching people how to get better, which obviously blew up and became a really big and successful thing. So for a while, I was on the YouTube grind, I don't know if any of you guys, whoever it is that you are watching this right now, I don't know where it is you are in life, but for anyone that has graduated either high school or college and is in a point in their life where they're going into the workforce, you'll know it's pretty easy to be motivated. Like when you need to worry about making enough money to buy food and pay rent, it's really easy to be motivated at your job. It's I don't want to say it's hard to be depressed, but you don't really have like an existential crisis at that point in your life because you don't have time for that. You have to work your ass off every hour of the day to make sure that you're going to be okay. And that's kind of where I was for a while. I had a lot of goals. I eventually moved out of my mother's place and lived with roommates for a while. I'm a bit of a private guy, though. I didn't really enjoy living with a bunch of roommates, so then I worked really hard to try and, be able to live on my own. And all throughout this time, I was kind of experimenting with different YouTube ideas, too, different kinds of videos, making how to get better at League videos, making gameplay videos, videos on the esports scene, videos on balance changes, videos on new champions, etc., etc., etc. I mean, you guys have been around, you've seen it. So I was grinding out videos for a number of years until about 2 years ago or so, where I eventually got some level of security. I got a roof over my head. I had enough savings that I would be okay if there was like an emergency with my car and I needed to pay for some giant maintenance or something. Like I had a little bit of safety and security. And then that got me into a really interesting spot where I was looking back at all the videos I had made, and I realized how not proud I was of a lot of them. Like, I had really jumped all over the place with my kinds of content and my personality. I was making all these different kinds of videos. I wanted to be a streamer. I wanted to do this and that. And I got to a point where I didn't like the person I had become. Like, in essence, if anyone had ever told me that some League of Legends personality, another YouTuber or Riot or a pro, had seen one of my videos, my immediate reaction would be, oh God, I hate everything. That video is so flawed. I say so many incorrect things. They're going to judge me so harshly. I can't believe I put that out. What was I thinking? Like, I would feel this immense sense of frustration and embarrassment over people seeing my videos, which was like not a good, that was not a good feeling to have, and kind of made me feel like, okay, maybe I shouldn't be making what I'm currently making. And so at that point, I got the idea to do the documentaries. And then about a year and a half ago, I started making these documentaries where I would put a lot of research, put a lot of effort into making these really big projects that you guys, again, I mean, you've seen them. They're documentaries on various interesting stories and whatnot throughout League of Legends history. But then another problem came up. To make a documentary, there was a lot of research and a lot of writing that had to be done, and that was stuff I really loved and enjoyed myself. But then I had to edit. And editing is the worst thing that you could ever do. I would never curse my worst enemy with having to edit YouTube videos. You're just sitting there staring at your computer as you slowly rewatch over and over what you're saying, and you just, I need to cut this back one frame. Oh, I have to extend this a few frames. Oh, this sounds weird. Oh, I got to do this and that. It's so meticulous and like the complete opposite of creative, in my opinion. I mean, at least editing the kinds of videos that I did. So then I messed around with, the immediate solution to that is to hire an editor, and then I tried that for a video, and I'd done that a few times in the past. But the more and more I thought about it, the more and more I kind of got worried. Is this something I'm actually enjoying doing? Because again, going back all the way to when I was, a little kid dressed up as Brett Favre, I had always just thought, do what you love. And that is something that, it sounds like really good advice, but I'm starting to feel like there's nothing that you can do that you're going to love every single day of your life. But it really started to throw into question for me, am I really happy with what I'm doing? Honestly, this made me really depressed for a period of time, and I've kind of been struggling with it even up until today. I don't know. Making videos and sharing stories with you guys and stuff like that, I really do enjoy that. I enjoy uploading videos and sharing my life with you. But at the same time, there are plenty of things that I don't think I don't want to become a big documentary guy that goes off. Like, that was another thing that was a question of mine when I was making documentaries, was if I'm just constantly going to be striving to improve and make even better, higher quality things, is that going to eventually lead to me trying to make feature films or feature documentaries, like with the film crew and everything, actually going out and shooting interviews? And that's something that I thought, I have no interest in that whatsoever. I don't care about lenses. I don't care about what a grip is or lighting. Like, that's not something I've ever cared about when it comes to making videos and making content. So then I was thinking, okay, that's not something I would like. And again, if it's not something I'd like, why would I want to do it? I realize, by the way, at this point in the video, that this is probably coming off as extremely privileged, and I will be the first to admit that I have led one of the most privileged and lucky lives possible. And this is probably just me coming off as whining about how my amazing, fortunate life is not as happy as it could be. But I guess when I think about it, the thing that really draws people to my YouTube channel, I believe, is me sharing what I love with other people. I think that's the thing, because I'm not the best League player. I'm not the smartest guy. I'm not funny. I'm not, there's nothing that I really have that's unique to my YouTube channel that you can't find on a million other YouTube channels, even within the League of Legends scene itself. The only thing that I think that I really excel at when it comes to producing content is I have an immense enthusiasm for sharing things that I'm passionate about with other people. And if my passion and everything for League of Legends is fading, then maybe I shouldn't just force it, you know? Maybe I shouldn't force it if it's something, because then I would lose the only reason people watch me. Which isn't to say that I'm quitting League, and it's not to say that I'm not going to ever make League videos again. Honestly, I'm not retired, even though I have a retired person shirt on. I have bills that I will have to pay, and my savings is dwindling, and I'll probably be up to, you know, making Road to Diamonds again before you know it, just to pay the bills. But I do think that maybe it's a smart idea if I try and just experiment a little bit. Maybe the best thing for me to do would be to make videos where I'm just sharing what I love with you guys again, and trying to not care as much about if it's something that's really like relevant to everything I've done in the past. If all people really care about is my passion for sharing things that I'm interested in, then maybe I can make videos on other things, and people will watch them and enjoy them and like them. And you guys have probably seen that a little bit. The last video I did was a video kind of on the history of certain pieces of internet culture, and it didn't really have much to do at all with video games. If I were a good YouTuber, this would be the point where I have some big uplifting message about how this is going to be it. I'm going to start making consistent content. This is going to be a change, and you guys are going to have so much that you can expect of me. But honestly, I don't have any answers. I'm completely lost in life right now, which I think that's okay in my 20s. But yeah, that's where I came from, and that's where I think I'm going. Honestly, making this video and talking, now that we're kind of at the end here, this has felt really good, and I think I do want to make videos. I think that is something that absolutely gives me joy and gives me purpose. But I don't know what the videos are going to be like. I don't know what you guys should expect with the upcoming videos on the channel. There's actually a few documentaries that I absolutely want to make, that I absolutely like, some really cool stories within League of Legends that I want to do. I actually do want to get back into playing League of Legends as well, so you can probably expect more League content. But at the same time, there's going to be some other stuff too. I don't know. I'm really lost in the world, and I hope that's okay. I mean, I hope that's something that you guys are okay with, but I also hope that doesn't spell doom for my future. But I think everybody my age feels a little bit lost every once in a while. Anyway, though, I hope you guys enjoyed the story time. I hope you enjoyed my amazing shirt. No, don't say that. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the story time. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you're looking forward to me making some more stuff in the future, because I've missed it. But anyway, yeah, on that note, thank you all very much for watching. I really mean that. Thank you so much for watching over these. It's been 7 years now. Thank you for being with me for so long, and thanks for sticking with me in the future. I'll see you guys next time, but until then, thanks again for watching. Good luck in solo queue, and have a wonderful day.